ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ
Yeah, hi. So, so last class, what did we do? We completed our data frames, right? So we had seen up to grouping, merging, and all that, right? So so what is pending now is some small libraries like regular expressions, date and time, math, and all that, right? So those are the small libraries. And time permits, I will also show you the set data type, right? So before that, there is, I think, so before we move on, right? So there are a couple of things that I was checking your syllabus. So one or two things that we didn't do, right? So which is, one is what is called the identity operator, right? So this is common to all objects. So identity operator, creator. Right. So I'll create a list. Right. I'll create L2 is equal to L1. And I'll say L3 is equal to, again, 1, 2, 3. Right. So if I say just 1 minute, give me a moment. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so the 1 minute, just. So this identity operator is there is a operator called is, right? So it is similar to, if you have seen in SQL, you will have something called is null. So something like that, right? So is used to check whether two objects are the same, right? So is, and you also have is not, right? So these are two operators. So these are called your identity operators. So here you have created L1, right? So let's print L1 and L2. So L1 is this, L2 is also the same, right? So now I can check L1 equal to L2, right? So it will say it is true. Similarly, L3 is also 1, 2, 3. So I can say L1 equal to L3. So it says that is also true, right? But now if I say L1 is L2, it says true, right? So now I can check L1 is L3. Now it says false, right? So we have talked about this when we talked about copy operations. So basically what we are checking is, see, when we have L1 equal to 1, 2, 3 and L2 equal to L1, what is happening at the back end? In the memory, 1, 2, 3 is created, a list is created. L1 is pointing to this, L2 is also pointing to this, right? And then, so this is our object. So there is only one object. So when you say L3 is equal to 1, 2, 3, or even if you say copy, right? So it doesn't matter. So in this case, what you have, L3 is a different object. But this also contains 1, 2, 3. Right? So when you say L1 equal to L2, we are checking for the contents. Right? So what are we asking? Does L1 have the same set of data like L2? And so do they have the same data? So in this case, it is true, right? So L1 has 1, 2, 3. L2 also has 1, 2, 3. L1 equal to L3, that is also true. Right? It's because L1 and L3 have the same contents. But when you say is, right? So L1 is L2. We are asking, are they the same object? Right? So L1 and L2 are the same object. But L3 and L1 are not the same object. They are two, although the contents are the same, they are two separate objects, right? So that is why L1 is L3 will return false. Right? So this is the identity operator. We are checking whether two values are the same object or not. Is not is the opposite of is, right? So it is, if L1 is not L2 will return true. L1 is not L3 will return, sorry, this will return false and this will return true. Okay, so this is called the identity operator. So the identity operator basically, so double equal to checks the contents, but the identity operation checks whether they are the same object or not. Right, so this is applicable for all objects, whatever we have seen till now. Okay, so that is one thing. And the other thing which I didn't do, right? So because sometimes for some people it hangs your system. So you can, so that is getting input from user, right? So you can ask a user to enter a value, right? So you can say getting, some people might see that their notebook is hanging, right? So no need to try it out, but I just wanted to, because it's there in the syllabus, I just thought I'll complete it, right? So getting input from user. So you can say input, enter your name. All right. So this I can assign to a variable called name. And I can print name, right? So now, can you see a box opens up where you can, where the user can enter their data, right? So let us say Thomas for us, right? And if you press enter, name now contains the value Thomas inside it, right? So when you try to print name, or if you want, you can try to print name again, right? So name contains Thomas. If I say age, right? So input, enter your age. And if you press, if you execute this, again, the box comes. Let's say you say it is 32, right? And enter. Now, if you print age, can you see age is being treated as a string, right? So how do we know that? You see that quotes here. So whatever you enter through input will be considered to be a string value, right? But what if you want to want numeric values? You have to explicitly convert it, right? So you can say int of age. Int of age. Now this becomes a number. Or while getting the values itself, you can do this, right? So you can say whenever you are getting any numeric values, you can just say int of this. So it will ask for the age, whatever age you enter, it will convert it into integer and then it will put it into age, right? So instead of doing it in 2 steps, you can do it in a single step like this. Let's say 22. So now if you print age, this will be an integer, right? So this is how you can ask people to enter values. So whatever values they enter, you can put it inside a variable, okay? So these were two things that were kind of pending from the others. So now what is left is some miscellaneous libraries, right? So some libraries like regular expression, math, date and time, calendar. These are all very small libraries, right? So, but regular expression might take some time. So let's do that first, right? So I won't type, I'll show you the examples that we have already generated. So what is regular expression? It is similar to your like operator in SQL. What is this used for? Why do you use like operator?
For extracting wildcard.
Not for extracting. You could say this is for basically you would do pattern matching. Right. So what is pattern matching? You are not searching for some anything specific. You are looking for a pattern. For example, you would have said select first name like a percentage. Right. So these are called wildcards. So wildcards are characters which are given special meanings, so that you can use it to represent something. So in this case, it means any number of characters. Right. So you are not searching for so if you're searching for Adam, for example, then you are doing a specific search. But here you are looking for a pattern, right? So usually you look for patterns of email, URLs and all. You are not searching for a particular email. You want to know within that column how people entered emails, right? So you have to create a pattern for email, right? So dot something at the rate something dot something, right? So this is what we expect. So in order to do all this, right? So this is what we mean by pattern matching. Rather than searching for specific values, you're looking for a pattern here. And to do that, we need to use wildcards, or what are wildcards? Characters which have been given special meaning so that you can search for a pattern. So in Python, there is a library called RE, right? So it stands for regular expression. Did you do regular expressions in SQL? Yes or no? I am sleepy. You are even sleepier. If you are not awake, I will fall asleep. So try to answer. Don't remember. When did you do your course? All right. Let us assume you didn't do, right? So regular expressions are, again, they talk about some expressions that you can create, which will represent a pattern. So here you have very simple patterns, right? So percentage A percentage, or percentage A underscore underscore, right? So instead of, so to create this, whatever patterns you are using, that is done using your regular expression library. So to use this, we have to import RE. I think it will be by default installed. If it is not there, you have to pip install RE. Right, so if this gives you an error, pip install RE, right? So this will get installed. So let me show you the code, right? So how you can use it and what all the special characters we are going to use. So here. So I have given you a list of special characters or characters which are given special meaning, right? So let me start with this. So first of all, you will let me import warnings, right? So because they keep changing this, import warnings. So I'll import the regular expression library. So you can use search, you can use sub, right? So sub is for substitute. So here you have something called search, right? So what we are doing here is we are searching for this pattern in this string, right? So of course, this is not very complex pattern, but still this is a pattern in this string. So if the pattern exists in the string, right? So the group object will contain the values, right? So match.group will tell you what exactly was matched, right? So at the moment, this may not make sense. So as we go down, this will make more sense. So if it is found, right? So if there is some value inside this match, then it means whatever you searched was found. If this returns null value, then it means this pattern was not found here. So in this case, IX is definitely there in SIX. So IX will be put into this. So when you say match.group, it will say IX is what I found here. This will make sense a little later, right? But basically we are searching for IX in SIX. So it will say it has found a match. But if you search for JX in SIX, there will be nothing in match, right? Because there is no JX inside the string. So it returns null value. So this condition will not be satisfied. It will say no match, right? So let's try this. So it just says there is no match for that particular pattern, right? So till now, we have not used anything special. We have just taken the characters and searched for it, just like that. So next, let us talk about some special characters. So here you have something called the caret symbol, right? This symbol. So this caret symbol can be used in two ways. One we will see here, right? So that is, if you say caret, this means starts with. So here, what are we searching for? See, we are saying caret PAT in the search string, right? So what is the search string? That is patronizing. So we are not searching for caret PAT inside this. We are searching for PAT at the beginning of the string, right? So we are basically searching is PAT there in the beginning of the string. So does it start with PAT? That is what we are checking, right? So in this case, it returned true because this is actually starting with this. We are not searching for this pattern. This basically means start with this one, all right? So, of course, PAT it's starting with the PAT. So this will return. This will return true, and it will say I found a path inside the string, right? So what if you give something else which is not there? Let's say sing, right? So if you see if it is starting with sing, it says there is no match, right? So although SING is there in the string, it is not at the beginning of the string, right? So your string is not starting with SING. So it says no match found at the beginning, right? So SING is not there in the beginning of the string, right? So caret is for searching at the beginning. Dollar symbol is used to search at the end. Right, so this is to search at the beginning. This is to search at the end. So here we are saying search for SING at the end of the string. Right, so search for this particular substring in this search string, and this substring has to occur at the very end. So here you can see SING is there at the end of the string. So this will return true, right? And it will say I found SING, right? So what it is finding, that is what it will print. So now if you do this, it will say I found it, right? It will say found C. All right. So caret is for beginning of the word, and dollar is to search at the end of the word. Then, so in this case, right, so my search string is PPATRONIS. So if you say is the word starting with PATR, it will say no, right? So it will return false because it's starting with PPAT, right? So this will return no match. Fine. So we have seen two things, how to search at the beginning of the string and how to search at the end of the string. So now you have dot, right? So your dot is similar to your underscore character in SQL. What is underscore used for in pattern matching?
Exactly one character.
Exactly one character, right? So here also a dot represents exactly one character. So if you see this pattern, right? So what are we searching for? There are 4 dots. So what that means is, are there 4 characters in the string? So basically we are saying, is the string at least 4 characters long, right? Of course, there are 4 characters. So now probably this match dot group will start making sense, right? It will say what made it say, yes, I found it. So what made it say, yes, I found it here? See, when it started searching, it found X, Y, Z, and A. So immediately it will say, yes, I found it, right? So what is the match that it has found? It has found X, Y, Z, and A. So because of that, it is saying, yes, I found it. Right? So what is the pattern? What is the pattern that it has matched from this string? Right? So that is what it will tell you. Now, okay. Right? So what if your string is like this? This will return false, right? So basically what did we search for? We said, is the string at least 4 characters long? So if you have XYZ only, you will say no, right? So you can find 4 characters next to each other. So this is lesser than 4 characters long. So that is the purpose of your dot. Now coming to /W and /D, right? So /W is called a word character, right? So when you say word character, it can be any, see, basically it is like the naming convention of our variables, right? So you can use capital A to small, capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, 0 to 9 can be used, and underscore can be used, right? So /W represents a word character. So these are called word characters, right? And if you want to search specifically for a number, you will use /D, which is 0 to 9. Right, so when you give this in square bracket, it means a group of values. Right, so this is actually 0, 1, 2, 3. Right, so up to 9. So square bracket actually in regular expression, it means a group of values. Right. So, yeah. So can you tell me what are we searching for here? Will this find a pattern here or not? 3 word characters followed by at. Do we have such a pattern here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what is the pattern? What does it find?
RRA.
No. What are we looking for? 3 characters followed by at symbol. So it will find this and say, yeah, I do have 3 characters followed by at symbol. Right? Because your W can include 0 to 9 also. So I found 3 word characters followed by at. Right? So this is because of this pattern has matched. Right? So let us see what it is printing. Right? So it is saying C12 at. So I was able to find a pattern with this. So if you replace this with a dollar or something, ABC $1 at xy.com. Now it says there is no match. Right? So I wasn't able to find 3 word characters followed by a at symbol. Right? So now let me comment this out. What is D? D stands for numeric, right? So numbers. Will it find a pattern here? /D/D/D.
Yes, ma'am.
Which pattern will it find?
678.
678, right? So this will match it and it will say, yeah, I found it. All right. So here we don't have any conditions. We want it to be anywhere in the string. Right. So as long as it is there anywhere in the string, it will say, yes, I found it. Right. So 2 special characters we have seen. No, 3 special characters we have seen. Right. So dot /t and /w. And of course, 2 symbols we saw, caret and dollar, right? To search at the beginning and the end. So now we'll see how we can see for 1 or more occurrences of this. So plus symbol means 1 or more occurrences of the pattern to the left. And star means 0 or more occurrences of the pattern, which is 0 or more occurrences, and question mark means 0 or 1 occurrence of the pattern, right? So here I'm searching hello plus comma help. So how do we interpret this? Is there 1 or more occurrence of O, right? You have to see the pattern to its left. So is there 1 or more occurrences of O in this word, right? So what will this return? Is there 1 or more occurrence of O in hell?
No, ma'am.
So this will return, this won't return anything. But if I say hello, right? So now it will say, yes, I found O. If I put hello, what will it return? What did it find?
4 rows.
So it actually it is HELL followed by 1 or more occurrences of O. Right? So that is what we are searching for. So HELL followed by 1 or more occurrences of this. So it will find hello. So if you do hell, of course it says HELL is there, but I don't find 1 or more occurrences of O. But if you replace this plus with star, what does it mean? HELL may or may not be followed by O's, 1 or more O's. So now this will say, yes, I found it. Right? So there is HELL. There were no occurrences of this, followed by 0 occurrence of O. If you have multiple O's also, this will find. right? So HELL followed by 0 or more occurrences of, but here we expect at least one occurrence. At least one O should be there. Here O may or may not be there, right? So that is the meaning of star. So what does this mean? What do we have?
Number
Slash.
space.
Number space, number space, number. How should we interpret this star?
0 or more occurrences.
So can we say we are looking for 3 numbers which may or may not be separated by spaces?
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
so that's how we need to interpret this. 3 numbers we want. In between, if there are spaces, we are okay. So here it will be able to find such a pattern, right? So you have 1 followed by space, 2 without space, but we have 3 numbers which may or may not be followed by spaces. So it will find 1, 2, 3, right? So we can use all this to create some patterns to search for email patterns, right? So URLs, all those we can do. So now here we are searching, right? So the string is, my email is pinkelephant11@google.com, right? So we are searching for, we are trying to extract a pattern. What will this search for? Whatever pattern we have mentioned. How do we interpret this? Let me make it big. How do we interpret this? 1 or more occurrences of word characters, followed by a hyphen, followed by 1 or more occurrences of word characters, followed by an at, followed again by 1 or more occurrences of word characters, right? Followed by a dot. So why this backslash? Because if you don't give backslash, this will be treated as any character, right? So because dot has a special meaning, right? So dot actually will match any character there. So if you give a backslash, we remove the specialness, right? So remove the speciality or specialness of that. I don't know if there is a word called specialness, but you remove the specialness of this word, right? So this will be just taken as dot. You actually want to search for dot, right? Followed by comma. So let us see 1 or more occurrences of word characters, followed by a dash. 1 or more occurrences of word characters, followed by at. 1 or more occurrences of word characters, followed by a dot, followed by comma. So this will actually extract this, right? So let us see if it is able to extract that, right? So it is able to find this pattern from this string. What will happen if I remove this? Or let me see what I've done here. It's the same. Okay, fine. So what will happen? Sorry. What will happen if I remove the dash here?
Followed by hyphen is not mandatory.
What will it match? What pattern will it find from this? Will it find
Elephant11@google.com.
So it will only this part will be matched. Right. So word characters, again, I've given this, which was not necessary. I had taken out that dash. So this is what it will match. So elephant11@google.com is what it will match. right? So, yeah.
Ma'am, what is the use of backslash?
I'm sorry, there was a power cut here in office, so I think we got disconnected. Yeah, somebody was asking something.
Ma'am, what was the use of backslash?
Now, backslash W is what? See, if you don't give, W will be taken as W. It means you're searching for W. Backslash W means any word character.
Okay.
Okay. Here dot has a, so if you don't have a special meaning, if you add backslash, it adds special meaning. If you have special meaning already, adding backslash will remove it. Right, so W as such has no special meaning, it's just W. So if you want to make it special, you will say slash. Dot anyway has special meaning, right? So dot means any character. But if you want to search for dot only, then you have to remove it. So this is used to add or remove specialness to a character. Right. So I think, yeah.
Ma'am, I'm getting attribute error. Modulary has not attribute search.
Sorry, your voice was not very clear.
Just give me a minute. I just type it.
Can you type or maybe talk loudly? Okay. So by the time she gets back, let us see this, right? So this is what we had seen now. So now the thing is, when you say sub, right? So when you say search, it will only search for one occurrence of it. So in this example, see, you have my email is pinkelephant@google.com. You can also use whiteelephant@gmail.com, right? But this pattern will not be matched. It will only match the first occurrence and it will come out. The moment it finds a match, it will just come out, right? So this will give you only pink elephant. So if you want to see all occurrences of this particular pattern, you should, instead of saying search, you should say find all, right? So here you will say re dot find all this. Module R has no attributes. Search. It is not search, it is search. SEARCH. So typo. Can correct. Okay. So now instead of saying search, right? So we'll say find all. So all occurrences of this pattern will be found, right? Yeah, okay. All occurrences of it will be found. So now, and it will be put inside this email. So this will be a list. So you can iterate over this and see all the patterns that it has identified, right? So now this will say pink elephant and white elephant, right? So both emails it has identified. So find all is used to find multiple occurrences of the string, right? Why did I give it again and again? Something I might have changed here. Okay. So here, right? So here what I have done, I have given 2 hyphens. But my pattern will identify only one hyphen, right? So what am I looking for? Word characters followed by hyphen, followed by word characters, followed by at, and then followed by word characters .com, right? So this will not be found. Right. So in this case, you have 2 hyphens, but we are searching for only 1 hyphen in the pattern. So this will only find Ellie-Fant at google.com. All right. So, so that is what I had mentioned here. So, keeps going off. I don't. Power is fluctuating. All right. So now, see, if you see this, and if you see this, right? So what is the difference? When you give this square bracket, right? So whenever you add square bracket, it means any number of occurrences of /w and hyphen in whatever order. Right? So what was our problem here earlier? We had mentioned only 1 hyphen here. But if I want to generally put this all together, right? So what can I say? I can put it within this and say /w hyphen. So that means any number of occurrences of word characters, any number of occurrences of hyphen, and in whatever order, right? So there is no specific order. This and this has to occur, that's all. So now, so that is what we have done, right? So this part, I have replaced it with /w hyphen. So any number of occurrences of word characters and hyphen, right? So followed by at. So this will be able to identify pink hyphen, Ellie-Fant, right? So this. So putting a square bracket basically means any number of occurrences of that thing that we are searching for, okay? So now tell me, if you want to create, if you want to find so if you want to find a email pattern, right? So what will you mention? I want you to search. So there is a column of data, right? So you have to search for emails inside this. You want to see, let's say this is a column called description. So are there any emails inside this? What pattern would you give?
\w followed by @.com.
.com. Okay. This will match A at .com. Is this a valid email?
No, ma'am.
So what should we do? So for example, we should say there should be at least 3 characters, right? So followed by at, right? So at least 3, at least, followed by at least 3 characters. .com, right? So how do we say this at least 3 characters?
Backslash star plus backslash W. No, ma'am, backslash W plus backslash at the rate. Again, backslash W plus backslash.com.
Why do we need this backslash? At the rate doesn't have any special meaning, no?
Yeah, okay.
But that is what we did, no? We have added one more, right? So this would be like, so if I say a@b.com, this will also be valid. This pattern also it will find.
Like plus means one or more occurrences.
One or more occurrences, one is also okay. One occurrence also it will say, yeah, there is a pattern. But we want at least 3 characters. How do we say 3 characters? Here we are saying at least 3 characters, followed by one or more occurrences of word character, or even you can give a star here, which may or may not be followed by word characters at the rate. Again, 3 dots. Right, so we want this to be at least 3 characters long. Right, so this .com. Right. If you want to include hashes and all, dash and all in your email pattern, you could say I want 3 characters followed by any number of occurrences of these. This means this may or may not be there. Any number of occurrences of this, right? So followed by at. Again, we have to say that plus here, right? So this means one or more occurrences of these, the word and hyphen characters, right? And at the rate, again, this one or more occurrences of this .com. So this will include our pink elephant because it allows you to have any number of dash also, right? So hyphen also, right? So at gmail.com. So you have to use these and come up with complex patterns, right? So yeah. So now coming to grouping, right? So in this example, what we
Yeah.
have,
How can we find out number? Phone number, like phone number.
you have to give 9 Ds, 10 Ds. Right? So
We can't use it. In this case, we can't use dot.
dot means any character. It won't be just number.
Okay.
So now grouping, right? So you can see whatever it finds, you can ask it to group. So for example, let's say we have some Thomas. Who's this Thomas? I'm using all the places. Thomas at gmail.com. Right. So let's say you want to, you are matching this pattern, but after matching the pattern, you want to take Thomas separately and Gmail separately. After you match this pattern, you want the name and the service provider or the email provider. So if you want to do that, you can group it, right? So you can say, see, you can use this bracket. This bracket at the rate, this bracket. So when you say what it has been found, right? What has been found by this search, it won't give you the whole thing, right? So instead, it will give you, this will be first element in the group. This will be the second thing in the group, right? So let me expand this a bit. So in this case, right, so what we are saying is, if you don't have these brackets, which is what we have been doing till now, right? So if you don't have this, it will find Thomas at gmail.com. But now what we did, we have put this within brackets. So the whole thing goes inside the group, right? So this match. So match.group will give you this whole thing. But now what are we saying? Right? So don't put the whole thing like this. Take this part and put it as first element inside the match. Take this part and put this as the second element in match. So now if you iterate through this, right? So you will see this will be the first group. This will be group 2. Instead of taking the whole thing and putting it as one group, it is possible to split different parts and put it as group 1 and 2, right? So this will say, see here, please contact support@gmail.com. So username will be support and email provider will be gmail.com, right? Or let's say xlr.com. Right? So you could say the company name. Right? So this bracket basically allows you to take out, after matching something, you can take out different parts of it and access it like this, group of 1 and group of 2. Right? So finally, so in this case, instead of search, we are using find all, right? So that means even if there are multiple occurrences of this, right? So we will find that. So here you can see for the first email, username is support, email provider is Gmail. For the second user, username is Pink Elephant and the email provider is Gmail, right? So it will find all will find all patterns, and each pattern has been grouped into 2 parts, right? So the user part and the email. Fine. So the last thing, it's not just search, right? So you can also do a replacement. So you have my string as anarkali, right? So now what are we saying? Search for anarkali, search for anar and replace it with champa in this string, right? So what will happen? Your anarkali will now become champakali, right? So in this string, search for this, replace it with this. So this will become champakali. So you can search for, here I have not given any patterns, but you can use patterns. See where this will be useful is, see when you have a text, right? So you have a text and you want to hide some part of it, right? So you want to hide a certain, so if you have your email, right? So you want to hide this. So you want to replace the email part with some star, or you have to replace your phone number with some star or blank or something. So in cases like that, you can search for a pattern and replace it with something else, right? So that is what string substitution is useful, right? So I have given you all the special characters that are used, right? So we have seen how this works. So this is, yeah, I think this much is enough for your regular expressions, right? So next we have to see this math and all is very small, right? So small libraries. So let's take a small break and come back, right? So once we look at this, our Python part will be completed, right? So it's 1:04. You can come back at 1:15. Then we will look at these small libraries and then we can wind up our Python. From Monday, we can start with statistics.
What about the visualization in R, like in Python?
Actually, it is not there in your syllabus. Do you have your syllabus with you? I checked yesterday, right? So it's not there. Oh. If you're interested, maybe see your planned for 8 days of Python, right? So if you want, maybe we can spend one additional day. 8 days are completing today. If you're interested, maybe one day we can spend on visualization if you want. It's up to you.
Ma'am, after statistics of R, we will continue with ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, I don't know when it is planned. These three, I know that you have to check.
Is reflecting on the dashboard.
It will be there, but dates, I don't know when it is starting. When is the
Okay.
date given?
I need to check it.
Okay. Not sure about the dates. So let me know if you want. One day visualization we can do. Otherwise, Monday I will start off with.
Yes, ma'am, we need.
This is great for one day, sir, for the visualization.
Fine then. We'll quickly try it out on Monday. So today, let's take a break, right? So we'll come back at 1:15. We'll wind up these part. And then that also we can have on Monday.
Ma'am, please also share drive link. You told yesterday that you will share
Drive link.
drive link.
All right. So let us quickly look at all the small topics, small libraries. Right. So the first one is your math library, which contains some math functions. Right. So if you do this dir of math, you can see all the functions. Like most of it we don't need. Right. So sine of x, tan of x, cos of x. See, these things we don't need. So one or two things might be useful for us, right? So to do some mathematical operations. For example, we don't have any function to find the power of a number, right? So of course you can use double star, but POV, square root, right? So all those, there are no way to find the values. So what we can do, we can take it from math, right? So it has a function called power. So 10 raised to the power of 3. Then you can convert something, you can round, you can, convert it to the ceiling value, floor value, you can truncate. What is the difference? Ceiling will take it to the next highest value, highest integer.
Lowest.
Ceiling will take you to the highest integer. Floor will take you to the lowest integer. Trunc will just remove this, right? So it will just remove the decimal part. It won't worry about what exactly rounding and all, right? So, let's try this. So ceiling will be 4, floor will be 3, truncate will just cut it off, right? For some reason, the round is directly available in Python, right? So you don't have to go to, it is not there in the math library. So we are not saying math.round, right? So round is there directly in Python. So you can just say round followed by the decimal places. So this will round it to 2 decimal places. So that will be 3 here, right? So this will be to 4.23. Why did I give this again? So if you don't specify this, right? So if you don't specify this, it will round it to the closest integer, right? So it will remove, it will not consider any decimals. The closest integer, it will round it to, right? So 4.12 will be rounded to 4. 4.6 will be rounded to 5. Right? But the thing to remember is there is no, you don't have to take it from math. It is directly available in Python. Then if you want to find the log, if you want to find the square root, if you want to find the exponential, all those are available. So if you want to find log to the base of 2, you can do this, right? So it is 1.558. If you want to find the natural logarithm, right? So to the base e, right? Then you can just leave out this base and just say math.log. Then square root, right? So if you want to find the square root of something, math.square root. See this, if you see, this is a, what do you say? This is a variable, right? So remember how we defined a package? A package can be made up of variables, functions, and classes. So this math package has a variable called pi, which has the value of pi, right? So 22/7. So that is 3.1415, right? So that is a big number. This is a never-ending number. Then if you want to find the cos, right? So cos of 0 will be 1. Cos of 90 will be 0 or almost 0, right? You can find the factorial of a number, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? So all these are available in your maths package. So any mathematical functions if you want to use, right? So you can go over to the math and you can check it out. You will find that there is some function is available for that, right? So that is your math package. Coming to calendar, see, calendar as such may not be very useful to you, but if you are creating some front end, right? So if you are creating some interface and all, there will be cases where you want to display the calendar, right? So where people can select and all. So along with that, calendar will be helpful, but otherwise this will just display the calendar, right? So we will import calendar. Then the calendar for the year 2024, right? So this is, let's take for 2025. So for 2025, what is the calendar? So can you see the entire calendar for 2025 has been printed. So what are these numbers and all? These are the spacings, right? So one means one space between this. This one means one line space, right? So first one is this space. The second one is, this is one space. And this 5 is this space, right? So you can try changing those. If you give this as 2, it'll come a little bit more separated, right? Or if I make it 5, you can see it, right? So there's a difference between these columns. So I'll make it 1. The second number is the line spacing, right? So if I make this 2, you will have 2 line spacing. I'll keep it as 1. And the next one is the this distance, right? So I'll make it as 15. Right, so this comes well separated. So this will just, whichever year you want, right? So you can specify the year and it will give you the entire calendar for that year. If you want it for a particular month, you can say calendar.month and which month, right? So let us say 2025 March calendar we want, right? So this is 3. So the March month of 2025. Right, so what is these 2 numbers? This is the spacing. This is this spacing. This one is the line spacing, right? So there is no need for this because we are printing only 1 month, right? So I don't know why I have written a function, but you can say any month you can pass, right? So 2025 March. This will be the March thing, right? So 2024 March, this is how it was, right? So whichever year you want, you can pass, whichever month you want, you can pass. December, right? So this is what it is. So then there is something called month calendar, right? So that is similar to the, what do you say? Although it's called month calendar, it's basically gives you the weekly thing, right? So let us make it 2025 Feb. Right, so where are we now? Today is 28, right? So this is Monday to Sunday, right? So it's just giving you the month based on the week. So this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So today is, oh, the starting, oh yeah. So this is your calendar module. This datetime module will be very useful for you, right? So datetime is used for mainly for data analysts, right? So this will be very, very useful, especially when you're printing these reports and all. People will be very particular about how they want to display a date, right? So we will, so I have given the date formats as a CSV file so that you don't have to search for it, right? So this is what you have, right? So here small a means short version of the day, right? So if it is Wednesday, it will be Wed. Capital A is the full version. Small w is the weekday, right? 0 is Sunday. So Friday will be day 6, right? This is the day of the month. Small b means month, a short version. Capital B means month, big version. M percentage M month as a number. Y short version of year. Capital Y full version of year. Hours, minutes, second. right? So capital H will print it 0 to, this is the 24-hour time. This is 12-hour time. And percentage P tells you AM, PM and all, right? So let's see how to use this. So I will import a date type, right? And then we will create from date type, right? So date, see the way it is organized, I don't know why it is done like that, but you have date time library. Within that, you have a package called date type, right? So within it, and inside this, you have some methods. So you have to say datetime.now, right? So now gives you, it's the same as your SQL. It will give you the current date and time, right? So I'll take the current date and time and put it into X. So if you see what is there in X, it is, this is how it is, right? So 28 February 2025, 13 hours, 28 minutes, 41 seconds. This is some microseconds at all. So what is the type of X? X is of type date type, right? So if you print X, it will print it in proper format, right? So print of X will give it in this format. So from this, you can take out the year, the month. So X dot year will be 2025, X dot month will be 2. So here, this is where we can do our formatting. Do you remember what is percentage P? Short version of month, right? So if you take today's date, right? So X contains today's date. And if you say strf time of B, this will give you FEB, right? If you give capital B, this will give you the full month for this date. Whatever date is there in X, you want to see the full month. Can you tell me what will be the output of this? What is D? D was day. You remember? Day of month, 0 to 31. B, we know, short version of month. Y, full version of year. I is 12-hour calendar, sorry, time. M is minutes. This is AM, PM. So what will be the output now? This should be.
Short form of one year.
What is today? Today is
28.
28. So this will be 28 Feb 2025. A space 12-hour format, no? So it will be 130, and percentage P will tell me this is PM. Right, so you can take any date and format it into whichever format you want. Okay, so let's see. Can you tell me what this will print?
Twenty-eighth February 2025.
13:31 PM, right? So in this case, there is no need for this. AM, PM, we don't need because this is 24-hour format. Right, so this will say 28th full version of month, 2025, 24-hour version of time. What will be this?
28th Feb 2025.
M is number, right? So B only will give you the name. So this will be 28/2, and Y is the small version of month, sorry, year. So 28/2/25 is what you will get. Right? If you want it in American format, right? So if you want the month and day, then percentage month, day, and this. right? So this will give you the date in American format. So like this, you can, so I've given you the reference, right? So you can take a look at it and you can create your dates in any format you want. So
And
this will
able to, sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to know, we are able to convert numbers to the date format too?
yes, yes, yes. You can see here I'm creating a time object. Similarly, you can create a date object. You can provide these values and create a date object. I think I have created a date object also. Here, right? So here that is the next thing that we are doing. So we'll say datetime dot datetime, right? So this is the date, right? So 2024 January 1st, 8:25 p.m. Right. So
No,
now
I
if I
just want to know that
Hmm.
there is a random number. We can take it like 2945. It's a number. We are able to convert it in a date.
What is that number supposed to be?
29450.
Yeah, what is that 2945?
It's a random number. So we
So
are
what do
able
you
to
want? What do you want it to be
date.
converted to?
In a date format. Any date.
No, but you have to be specific, like what is 29, what is 4, what is 5. If you know that, probably we can write some logic to convert it. Right? But otherwise, because it doesn't know what it needs to convert it into. Okay, so like
Because
this,
in SQL we are able, because that is why I asked you.
in SQL, you can do this. How will you do?
No, ma'am, in Excel
Because
we
we
can
got
do that.
Or in
in
Excel, you
SQL
can do.
also.
What will happen to 2945?
Excel that date format starts from 19,000. So if you give any number, it will calculate from 19,000.
Oh, it will get the seconds, number of seconds starting from 1970.
No,
Huh.
no, ma'am. Date in date format,
Oh, in
like
date.
0101 1900. It is calculated as day one.
Okay. So this is the number of days.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. Might be there. I have to check, but there might be options. We can always check, right? So you can always Google. We can find out. Convert days into date in Python. Days since date to a number of days. All this logic has to be written. See, this is what you want, right? So directly there is no way, right? So we'll be talking about time delta. So you can use this, right? So let us see, maybe we'll take it and try it out. But we'll talk about time delta. I think we'll talk about time delta, right? Let us see. We'll take that. Let it be. We'll come to that, right? But otherwise, if you give this details, right? So this 2025, the month and all, it will convert it into a date time object. So once you convert it into a date time object, you can apply all the date time methods, right? So then now you can format. So what is A? A gives you the day, right? So day of the week. So this happens to be a Monday, right? So here we could have added a percentage A, right? So here I could have added a percentage A. So that will say Friday, 28th February. And if it is small a, it will be the small version of the day, right? So fry only will be there. So yeah. So you can give your own numbers, convert it into a date time, right? And then you can apply all the date time functions on it. So if you don't want a date time, right? So if you want only date, so under date time, you also have date function, which will leave out the time part and will take only the date, right? So this is 6th December 2022, right? So today's date. So if you want today's date, date time dot date dot today, right? So now we'll give you the date and time. Today will give you only the date. Similarly, you can create only a time part, time object you can create, right? So this is 6:50 and 12 milliseconds or something. Sorry, seconds, right? So 6 hours, 50 minutes, 12 seconds. This you can format, right? So capital I means 12-hour format, minutes and seconds. This will tell you AM or PM, right? So this will become 6:50, 12 PM, right? So this will be 6:50, 12 PM. So you can find what is called you can find the difference between two dates, right? So this is 13th December 2018, and this is 25th February 2019. So once you convert it into this, right, you can find the difference, right? So this is 74 days. So in this case, right, so this diff object is a new type of object called a time delta object. So which will give you the difference in, see, the regular numbers subtraction and date subtraction are different, right? So if you subtract this, you will just get a number. But when you subtract two dates or two times or date and time, you will get something called a time delta, right? So from that, you can extract how many days are there, right? So you can get other information, but we wanted the number of days. So from this time delta, you can get how many days difference is there, right? Time zones also you can look at. So there are plenty of methods inside this, right? This is not a straightforward thing, but if you want to get the time zone, right? So you can take this and you can convert it as time zone and then get the time zone info. And so this is a little complex process, but you can get the time zone of a particular date. So this depends on your system. So our system, my system time and location is Indian location. So it is showing IST. You can try it if you're learning from some other country, you can try the same code. It will give you, right? So if it is Pacific time or Eastern time or whatever, right? So according to your system's time zone, you can extract what is the time zone here, right? So for your question, let us see what they have done. They have taken the number of days. So here you have to specify from which, like you said in Excel, it will take from 1900, right? So you have to say from which date. From that date onwards, you can calculate, right? So here they have taken 1990. So starting from 1990, our time delta, right? So what we are saying is, what we want is the new date based on the number we are giving. So we'll give the starting date plus the time delta, right? So if this is 26th February and your time date delta is 2 days, this new date will be 28th February. So in our case, what we'll do, we'll take this as 1990 and time delta is so many days, right? So 9645 days. We'll see what is the new date, right? So we take this days and convert it into time delta. Then we will add it to our start date and let us see what this prints. So this gives you 2050, right? So starting from 1990, to 1st December 2015, there are 9,465 days. Right. So, yeah, I think this is what you wanted, no? So there is no straightforward method for it, but you can always work it out. Okay. Right. So these are all the different libraries. So as per syllabus, we are done with Python. Right. 8 days of Python we have done. And I have covered all the topics under this. Monday, like you asked, let us have one day for visualization. Maybe I will only type, right? So or maybe I'll get the ready code or something and we can finish it off fast. In one day, we can see how to use Matplotlib and C1, right? Fine. So I think, oh, we still have 15 minutes. What should we do? Should we start off with visualization? What do you say? Any doubts, anything you want to ask? Let me upload all this.
Ma'am, is Python is mandatory for data analyst?
Yes. Because without any knowledge about, uh, any form of programming, it is kind of a big drawback. Right, so they will ask for Power BI, Tableau and all, but still if you say that I can't do any kind of programming, then yeah, it will be a drawback for you.
Ma'am, what's the real life scenario for using Python as a data analysis?
See, Python is used in many places, so you would want to. So when you work in a company, right? So they will be using different kinds of tools. For example, you might be working on something on the cloud also, right? So there also some small code you will have to write. Or you might be, although you haven't, we haven't gone into that, you might be asked to generate reports and all using Python. See, what happens is, as you know, this Tableau, Power BI and all, they are, what do you say, very, very expensive, right? So most companies don't want to pay that license. Sorry?
We are also able to create a dashboard with Python.
With Python. So mostly they won't want to, pay for that license. So in cases like that, they will ask you to write it in Python. So you might use some frameworks like Flask or something, right? Again, it depends. And there will be cases, at least small bits of code where you will have to write it and do some transformations and all that. If you are working for a company which is using only Power BI, then it is fine. But normally what will happen, you will have multiple clients. So some of them won't be willing to pay, but they will still want to have these things available. So there your coding will definitely come into picture. Right. I was about to upload this miscellaneous modules. Fine, then maybe we won't start anything new today.
Ma'am,
Huh.
ma'am, I have one problem.
Huh.
Ma'am, it's can I share my screen, ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, in drive link I can't open. I can't able to open that.
Can't do
Showing
that.
like this.
You have to
Ma'am.
download it and then open from Jupyter Notebook.
Yes, ma'am. But my Jupyter notebook is not opening. I'm working on.
No, you can't double click on it. You have to open you are working on what?
Ma'am,
Where did you
Anaconda
download?
Navigator.
Where did,
Anaconda Navigator. Drive link, ma'am. In drive link.
no, you have to download it to your local folder.
And
Yeah, right click and download it somewhere onto your local folder.
yes, ma'am. In download, I download this file.
Yeah, that is what I'm asking. Where is it?
In drive link, ma'am.
No, not drive link. It will be somewhere on your local.
File.
Okay. Here you
So-
cannot go to your navigator. Open Jupyter Notebook. Close this. Can close it. No, not that. You can close that sign in for AI. Scroll down a little. Scroll up. Where is a notebook? Scroll up. Jupyter Notebook, launch it. Don't click multiple times. It will come. It will take some time. Or you could have directly opened a Jupyter Notebook.
No, ma'am, I can't. It's
Okay.
showing error. Suddenly, this window, that window will pop up, and suddenly it's closed.
Okay, so now, no, what did you click? 2 times home has come. You can close one home folder. One you can close. You closed everything. Okay, so before you do that, can you go to your downloads? Okay, let it be. Go to your downloads. Go to downloads folder. Copy that core Python. Did you copy? Copy it, copy it. No, not like that. Not like that. Just the file you copy. Here, right click and copy. Control C. Copy. Top next to that scissor symbol, you will have a right click. Next to that scissor, do you see one copy? You see the scissor symbol?
Yes, ma'am.
Above. Where is it? Above.
It's the topmost line, first row,
First row.
right above the open.
Above
Left
that.
side.
Both.
Right click. No, go to the scissor. Go to the scissor. Okay, click on that. Now go to C drive. No, not here. C drive. No.
She needs to click on this PC icon.
This PC you can click. Not here. She's gone to the drive. No, C colon, your this PC. File Explorer. Can you give me access?
Pro, ma'am.
Just give me access. Okay. So this you have to copy. Then go to this PC, C drive, users. Are you logged in as HP or Intel?
Intel, ma'am.
Intel. Go to this. This is why we created this folder, right? So
Yes.
here you have to paste it. Now, if you go here, go inside Python practice. You will be able to see this. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
So whatever IPYNB files you have to copy it to that folder
Okay,
and
ma'am.
then open your Jupyter notebook, go to that folder, go inside this, and there you will find the file, double click on it.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shall I stop, ma'am?
Yeah. Stop. Fine, then let's stop for the day. Right, so see you all on. NumPy is not part of your syllabus, Pranav. NumPy is not required also. See, NumPy and Pandas will do the same thing, right? So what is, let me quickly tell you what is NumPy. NumPy basically gives you what is called, see, just like your Pandas has 2D data, right? So just like you have data frames in Pandas, in NumPy you have what is called ND array, right? So ND array stands for n dimensional array. So here you can work with one-dimensional data. You can work with 2D data. You can work with three-dimensional data. Right? So when you want to work with high-dimensional data, you can go for NumPy. So if you are working with image processing, for example, right? So all your images will be 3 colors. You will have RGB. So there you will have to work with high-dimensional data. So in cases like that, NumPy becomes very important. Or if you are using deep learning models using TensorFlow, right? So the tensors are all high dimensional data. So in cases like that, you can definitely go for NumPy. But thing is, we are only going to work with 1D and 2D data. And 2D data is handled using data frames, right? So for one dimension, we have list, we have series. Here we have data frame. For 2 dimensions, we have data frame. So whatever is there in data frame will be there in 2D array in NumPy also. So there is no need for both of them. Right? But if your intention is to work with deep learning models and all, then definitely you can go for high dimension, NDR. Right? So NumPy basically is numeric Python. So some numeric methods are also available here. So in cases like that, you might import it. For example, square root is there. Right, so which is not there in core Python. You can either use math or you can use numpy.square root. So there are some 1 or 2 small functions which might be useful from NumPy. Only those we will usually use. Right, so that is why NumPy is not covered here. Even for data science, we don't go for NumPy. All right, fine then. Let's stop for the day. Right, so see you all on Monday.